Anyway,
Right.
so let's start. So I guess we started talking about elation earlier, so I guess we can start it with that because I think it's the best one to kind of start with in this context. So personally, with elation, I think it's a busted path. I think it's really, really good, and I'll tell you why it's really, really good. So yes, you might need like a blade. You might need like where is Clara? You might need a Clara. So anyone with some, you know, like follow-up attacks to make her work very well. I think even Himiko has some follow-up attack.
She does.
Hmm.
Yeah, she does.
Right. So I understand it's like, yeah, at the especially at the beginning of the run, if you don't have a character that would benefit from it, you're not gonna see anything. Yeah. However, and that's where the whole the key blessing comes in. So there's a key blessing in this path where basically, let me show it on the stream. There's a key blessing in elation that turns your what do you call it? That turns your ult into a follow-up attack. So any ult you do, it's gonna turn it into a follow-up attack and boost it by 15%, or like it increases the damage of follow-up attacks by 15%. Subsequently, it will increase your ults by 15%. That's why I still think it's really good, because it gives you a shit ton of like increased damage, and any elation you're gonna pick up now, it's as if it's boosting your ult basically.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so Mr. Man is saying like E4, QQ, and Kafka. Yeah, but it's not like one of the main things in their kit. Maybe QQ, but because I haven't tried her that much. But I know Kafka's follow-up attack is more like another way to apply shock versus, you know, like a main source of damage, if that makes any sense. But yeah, that's why I keep telling you, like, elation is insane. And here's why it's also even more insane. So if you look at the path resonance, so the path resonance, what it does, it does a, where is it? We need to find it first. Yeah, so you spend 100 energy and then it does dealing follow-up attacks to random types to all enemies. The key point here is random types. So keep that in mind, right?
Yeah.
What other type you can benefit from a lot when you're doing like a random type? Like, let's say, what other path benefit from a particular type of damage? Remembrance.
Oh.
Remembrance is all about ice. And the thing is, like, that's what, like, one of the runs that I did was insane, is because I picked up a bunch of these like remembrance blessings, and what ended up happening is whenever I use the path, which does a shit ton of damage, by the way, it causes them to just freeze and causes them to be dissociated and all of that stuff. So, like, if you pick up elation, and especially of course, as I said, like if you have one of the characters that has follow-up attacks, so either Blade, like even Blade, which is like not the most reliable follow-up attacker because you need him to be hit. So if you have shields, he's not gonna be hit. It still actually works out very well. I haven't tried it with Clara. I don't have her, but I would assume Clara with elation is also busted. So yeah. So you haven't tried elation, right?
No, not at all. I'm not going to lie to you. The only ones, like, I'll get, like, don't get me wrong, I have all the blessings just because, like, I'll get it for, say, I get 3. It's one of the occurrences where it's like you get only remembrance things, and then I'll see a gold. I mean, not remembrance, elation.
Right.
Pick up a random gold one, which is, I assume, is the best one.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like the other gold ones. So I'll bring it back to the game real quick. The other gold one, like, that's why I mentioned like the key one. You'll see me even in my runs. I'm like, oh wait, hold on. I got the one that the ultimate one, which is this one, like that turns your ultimates into follow-up attacks. Yeah. And from there, I'm like, okay, I can pick up any elation now because it literally unlocks the whole path, even if you're not running a character with follow-up attacks.
And I'm looking here, even if you look at like the blue ones, like for each enemy hit by a character follow-up attack, they deal additional 24% of damage.
Yeah, they're insane. That's what I'm saying. It's like, there's so many like good elation. Like there aren't many that are like you know, like it's not really good.
Yeah.
The only one that I can think of is there's this one, 12 Monkeys and Angry Man. It's like it gives you 4% increased what do you call it? This follow-up attack increases by 4%. I'm like, it's not that much. But other than that, like all of them are beneficial in one way or another.
Even the crit rate one, like you start 26% crit rate on your ultimate, and if you buff that, 39%.
Exactly. And now again,
Hold on, sorry. There's this one, Suspiria, increases the damage of follow-up attacks by 26%.
Right.
That's a common one.
Yeah, the common ones are really good. Like there's one that increases your energy regeneration, crit rate, crit damage, and like that's the thing. Yes, it does increase it just for a particular case, either follow-up attacks or if you pick up the key one, as I said, your ultimate. But like if you kind of build around that where you're getting a bunch of energy regeneration and like you're ulting left and right, it's so like there's so much bonuses that you're getting out of it.
Comes together.
Yeah. So and that's the thing, and that's why I said is like it's one of those paths where I, even if I'm not playing it like as the main thing, I still think it's worth picking up, because if you pick up that key blessing, you'll be doing a shit ton of damage if you pick up more elation stuff, more elation blessings. So that's why personally, from my experience, one of my best runs have been elation. Although again, I do have Blade, where in some cases I'm like, I'm doing 1 million with his follow-up, just straight up like that.
See, that's what I mean. Like, obviously, like for me, I just think, because I have Kafka, it's just she's not gonna be doing not even 100k damage, so that's I don't even bother with elation.
Right.
But you've put me on, so I need to test that out.
Yeah, definitely try it out. Trust me, it's really, really good. And that's why I brought the characters, just to visualize, okay, which characters would be great. Again, if you have Clara, Blade, elation, trust me, like the path resonance does so much damage, because the reason why it does so much damage, it's something that I haven't noticed with the other paths resonance, is that the path resonance damage itself benefits from the blessings that you're picking up.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? Because this is the only one that's, well, I guess maybe Remembrance also benefits from that. But elation is one of those things, like any blessing that you pick up for elation is going to boost the path resonance itself. So yeah, it's really, really good. And it has like a defense shred on some of the, like the stuff that you pick up later. Yeah, it's insane. Trust me. Elation, I know it's kind of like one of those things that is a bit situational. As I said, like if you get that one blessing, level 3, or if you have a good character that can benefit from it. But overall, I think it's something that you can use on the side 100%. But yeah, any final thoughts on that, so we can move on to the next one?
No, as I said, you've put me on. I've never tried it like fully before, so
definitely
I this out myself. And like even just a Kafka team, do you understand what I mean? With everyone just bursting their ults to left, right, and center. Yeah,
exactly. Like think about this. Like if you pick up, I know for Nihility, for example, the Nihility path, there are some blessings that like give you so much energy that you're ulting left and right.
Yeah. And
then suddenly you have that elation that gives you extra, like an extra boost. It becomes so insane. Like, especially if you're ulting with Kafka or Sampo, exactly. They have AoE.
Just bursting them down like quickly and then getting your Nihility or whatever.
Exactly.
I'm trying that.
Definitely try it out. But again, like it like my recommendation is don't pick it up as a side until you get that one level 3 blessing, and then it's like, oh, okay, this unlocks elation for me now, kind of thing. But yeah, that's what I think. So I put it in insane with caveats, and the caveats here is either you need to pick up the blessing, the level 3 blessing, or basically how do you say it, have a good character that can benefit from it, namely Blade, Clara. I think especially Clara, to be honest, but yeah. Blade is a bit situational because, as I said, like if you have shields, it becomes tricky.
To be fair, you can manipulate it now, like especially with Link.
With the taunt, yeah, true. Yeah, but yeah, there's definitely ways around it for sure. I'm not sure about Herda because I'm not sure who has Herda built.
Now, to be fair, I've seen runs where there's Herta and Himiko just fucking. I'm sorry for swearing, for just like smashing everything.
I know.
It's a bunch of follow-ups after follow-up, and it does look insane and makes you want to build them, but resources.
Yeah, and it's like if you remember one of the events they did like a while ago where they gave us that combo of Herta and Himiko. But the only issue I think with it is, like the enemies in that event both have a weakness for fire and ice, which you need like to break weaknesses for Himiko to work, if I remember correctly. So that's the only issue in Swarm, is that the final bosses, or like the bugs that you're fighting, are only weak to Quantum and Imaginary. That's the only reason why that makes their follow-up attacks a bit situational. I think even more situational than Blade, to be honest.
Yeah, because you'll need like a Silver Wolf.
Yep, exactly.
Or you need to get lucky by when one of those bosses are like, fire weakness or ice weakness.
Yeah, and you can get, if you remember, like in the first plane, you can add a weakness to them. So you have to have both Silver Wolf and get fire or ice in the first boss, which...
And what I found out as well, when you implement one of those weaknesses, even if you use Silver Wolf, the weakness, like, you could still implement like fire weakness even if you've picked a fire plane.
Yeah.
Which is annoying.
Yeah, it is annoying, yeah, because I think it's considered as a temporary weakness. That's why it probably like works that way. But yeah. That's I think that's Elation in a nutshell. Maybe not a lot of people would agree with this, to be honest. And I think a lot of people are sleeping on it, trust me. Like even if you don't have, as I said, like even if you don't have a follow-up attacker, you can still run it, even as a side.
You've explained it so well to me, like it's made me want to try it so much, especially like looking even at the common buffs. Do you know what I mean? Like once you do get the specific one that you're talking about,
right,
you get those mini buffs for the common.
Right.
Oh my gosh, you're gonna be, again, as you said, you're gonna be dealing with 1 million damage.
Oh yeah, and as I said, like the path resonance also benefit from those buffs, so you're not losing out on those either. But yeah, that's Elation. I made my case for it. I think it's a good main path if you have a character, and a good side path if you pick up that level 3 blessing. So definitely try it out. I think it's one like my most used path, funnily enough, because I've been enjoying Blade a lot.
You have such a good team for it, you know. You have Butcher, you have Blade. Even if you wanted to add links in there for like difficulty 5, you know what I mean? Just put the taunt on. You have like such good characters, and the teams that you can use for some of these, for some of them, is so good.
Right, but and the thing is, like, I thought about links and I tried it out. I found out that like basically running Fushuan is way more advantageous. Like, yes, I benefit from Blade being able to, you know, follow up more, but the utility that Fushuan brings is way higher, to be honest. So yeah. But yeah, let's move on to another path that I think has been a very it's a surprise, not gonna lie. It's been a surprise. A destruction.
Yo, okay, you put me on with this path, okay? Difficulty 4. It's not that I couldn't complete it. Again, I was waiting for Fushuan. Yeah, obviously I could have cheesed it. But I just used one solo sustain, 3 DPS. Oh my gosh. I was not dying. You get your health back. Losing health gives you all this defense for Japar, and the Japar's getting like these 4.5, 4.7k shields.
Yep.
I'm not taking any damage. You get all this bonus attack. Oh my days.
I know. It's the thing is like about destruction is that it's so easy
It is. It's easy.
You don't even have to. I think it's the easiest path to play, and that's why I think they put it as the. If you remember, like when you start Swarm, the first one that you have unlocked, or the only one that you have unlocked, is Destruction.
Yeah.
It's so easy to play. It's like the dice you get for Destruction is like, it's really easy. It's like, oh yeah, change this one to combat, or make this blank and take the elite rewards without even fighting the elite. The dice is amazing. The what do you call it, the path resonance is pretty good, especially if you pick up the extra path resonance that takes away your health, which boosts the damage of your path resonance. Let me show it on screen.
Also, on top of that, when you lose your health, again, as I said, if you're using someone such as Japard, when you have the other card where it boosts their defense, you're getting so much more defense. You know what I mean? It's so crazy. Everything just bounces so well, as you said to me, honestly.
Yeah, they have like so for every 1% of HP, gain this amount of effect resistance, defense, attack. It's like the more like the less health you have, the more benefits you get, but you have the shields to compensate for it.
Yeah.
It's so easy to play, in my opinion. It goes well with a lot of paths, especially like you can go Preservation as a side, you can go, so they have Elation as a what do you call it, like a resonance side. I don't know how to call it, but like a Destruction and Elation together. And I think that's mainly for Clara, to be honest with you.
Just to make her break. Again, this is why, like, I wish I could just use some of these characters. Like, for example, as you said, the Destruction path on Clara just seems, and Elation, you say, is, you know what I mean?
Yeah, throw in.
It's made for her.
Exactly. Like, I think you can go Destruction with Elation as a side, and you throw in Lynx with Clara. Oh my god, that team would, like, I think you can just literally run those two only. And you can clear it just fine. But yeah, and if you have her signature light cone for Clara, I think I've seen people do like a solo Clara thing, where she's unkillable basically. But yeah,
as you said, how flexible it is. You can run pretty much any team using Destruction.
Yep.
I've run my Nihility team on Destruction. I've run my Sealer team on Destruction.
Yeah, and it's like you get hits, you gain so some of the like higher level blessings is like you gain these fighting what is it called, fighting spirit thingies, which gives you both attack and defense. So at the same time you're becoming more tanky, and also you're dealing more damage.
It's just is broken.
It is very good
broken for most of these characters. Again, Kafka,
you can run any team. I can't think of a team where you can't run this. Even with Blade, which doesn't like having a shield on him, it still works very well. Because like you literally have one random one star blessing that gives you max HP. It gives you 16 max HP, and like if you enhance it, it's 24%. It's insane for Blade, that is. But yeah, Destruction, I think it's the most straightforward one. It's the easiest to like brain dead. Okay, I want to win this. Let me use Destruction. Just go Destruction. It's so easy. You can run it with Dot. You can run it because you're gaining attack, right? So you're gaining that buff, which will help you with dots as well.
Exactly, the attack that you're getting from it as well. I think I've seen my Kafka on like 6k attacks before.
Yeah, I've seen it on your run. Yeah. Which is insane. Yeah. And the reason why I didn't put any K characters with it, because to be honest, run whatever. It works just fine.
I see that.
Yeah. But yeah, Destruction, as I said, like it's one of my what do you call it? Most favorite, because I think it's balanced even when it comes to the dice, as I mentioned earlier. It's like some of the dice effects are really simple, really beneficial. So funnily enough, like Elation I was talking about earlier, I forgot to talk about the dice, but the dice for Elation are kind of meh.
Yeah, okay.
Because it's like you're getting this surprise thing, and surprise is basically what they do is like, oh, you have this domain that is combat, now it changes it to adventure.
Oh, okay.
or it changes it to reward. That if it changes it to reward, that's fine, that's good. But it can change it to something you don't want, like an occurrence or whatever. So it's not very consistent. Like the dice for elation is not very beneficial. That's not the case for destruction. Destruction is like, it helps you make your your path through the grid go through more combats, because it gives you some dice that make that particular spot on the map to be combat, which means okay, you're doing more combat, which means more damage. So
and you're ending up with like so many different blessings as well. You know what I mean? You can end up with, again, elation blessings, more nihility blessings.
Yep, it works with hunt because it gives you crit.
It's great.
If you want to pick up some propagation on the side for your, like, that's the thing, you can pick up whatever and it should work just fine. That's the thing. You can, like, the side paths that you're gonna pick up are more should be more tailored to what character you have. Meaning, like, if I'm running Blade, for example, I could use some propagation like blessings, or I can use some hunt blessings that give me more crit, stuff like that. The only kind of side path that I can see very easily, like always would work, is preservation. But I'm kind of disappointed in preservation, and I'll talk about it, like, I guess we can talk about it as the next one. But I'm a bit disappointed in preservation, to be honest with you. But
I think preservation is just, it's not that it's not good, it's just that most of these characters you use, you don't need a shield, really.
Yep.
If that makes sense. Again, for me, unless you're getting most of these buffs that give you shield, like you're not. What are you using a shield for? For example, like you have Luocha, you have Kafka, you have Lynx as a healer sometimes.
Right.
Bailu. You have these buffs that give you heals anyway, such as the nihility buffs.
Yeah.
Like, you don't really need shields. Not that you don't need shields, but you don't need shields.
The thing is, like, my issue with the preservation, and I guess we can jump in on preservation next, is I think I'm a bit hesitant, because this is, again, like, this is my personal opinion on this, and I would love to hear what you think about it. But I feel like preservation is, first of all, it relies a lot on having a shield. Okay, which characters give you shield? So you have Japard. You can maybe run Marsh. I don't think Fire Trailblazer qualifies for this.
Gives you a good enough shield.
Yeah, his shields are paper thin. I don't even consider him in the conversation for that. So looking at this, okay. So you have a standard 5-star character, which is, by the way, generally harder to get compared to limited 5 stars.
Yeah.
And then you have a free-to-play character, which by no means, I'm not saying Marsh is bad, but like, how many people have Marsh built? Unless you're 100% free-to-play, and you started new or whatever, then I understand you have Marsh built. Or like you have Clara maybe, and you're taunting her. That I can see working as well. So in those cases, yes, that's the first point. And the second point for me with preservation is, yes, you're gaining a lot of tankiness, but in a lot of bosses, if you, like, you saw my run earlier with Remembrance, I was freezing them, it was fine until they got boosted so much, and then in one attack they killed most of my characters.
Yeah.
So the more you stall,
like, they'll just eventually, especially like with Japard, like eventually you just won't be able to keep up with all the damage they're doing.
Exactly.
Back on.
And you're not fighting back as well. I know, yes, the what do you call it? The path resonance does damage based on the shields that you have, and the blessings that you're gonna pick up for preservation is some of them are gonna give you more shields. Let me actually check the game again for that, because I remember like, if you have a shield, you gain a bunch of advantages. You get crit, you get crit damage, crit rate. Let me see.
You can dispel buffs.
You can dispel for like in a I think it's like a 15 what was the percentage? I don't remember.
16.
Right. And it's like, yeah, it makes your shields tankier. So basically it's all about keeping those shields. It gives you like an attack buff in certain cases, but the attack buff is not that great. It's like, it's look. I know at some point you're gonna reach a point where you're doing damage back with your shields because you have those tier 3 blessings that make your shields do damage for you. But that's the thing. I think it's too reliant on those blessings for the path to do damage. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. A lot of the buffs are so like dependent on shields as well. So if
Exactly.
you don't have a shield character, you're not really going to use them.
Yeah, and it's not like the path resonance is giving you shields either. That's the other thing. Like if you think about abundance, for example, a lot of it depends on you being healed, right? So like,
Yeah.
oh, you gain crit, you gain attack, you gain speed, you gain defense, whatever. But the path itself is healing you.
Yeah.
So it synergizes better, in my opinion. I think the only way you can potentially make preservation work is by running nihility or like nihility characters. You're running dot pretty much.
I was going to say, so as you said, so as someone who uses Japad a lot, it is like a decent path, but not to pick. It's as a side path. So again, if I'm going through them, I'll pick the one that dispels buffs just in case.
Right.
Another one that I'd pick is the one when you collect enough, it increases your defense just to get more shields on my Japad, just in case. And then I'll get the attack one. And then other than that, unless like again I'm in destruction, I'm collecting a lot of buffs.
Yeah.
I'd only collect like the gold ones. I don't really go for all the other ones because it's just not needed.
Yeah,
as much as other ones.
And I feel like the in normal simulated universe, the preservation path can do just fine, but in Swarm, you're taking so much damage that by the point, like let's say you ulted with Japard and then suddenly after that the enemy attacks you and then like all of the shield that you have is nearly gone, but then you're relying on that to do the damage. So
and then you're gonna have to wait, or there's just no damage. So.
Exactly. So that's my issue with like, I'm not saying you can't make it work. Again, like all of the paths work. Like you'll find a way to do it. But like out of all of the paths, I feel like preservation is the weakest path, in my opinion.
Okay.
Do you think that's the fair assessment, or would you place it higher than this, basically?
Again, as I said, like I only collect it for the last time I used preservation path was probably in normal simulated universe.
Right.
When I first got Japad, just so I can clear it much easier. After that, I've not used it.
I guess also in normal simulated universe, you want to run something that clears things faster. So you want some, like, don't get me wrong, like even personally in normal simulated universe, especially at the start of the game when I'm trying to get to a higher difficulty, funnily enough, preservation was one of the paths that I was using that kind of helped me, because it's keeping you alive while you're still doing some damage. But I don't think it can fly in difficulty 5 in Swarm. Like, you need to be doing damage fast, but also you need to be sustainable enough. But like, if you're just sitting there and taking hits, I don't know.
As you said, they're getting buffs as well. They're coming back as well. Like, eventually, they're just gonna fucking drown you in so much damage, where it's gonna be pointless to have all these shields because you won't have any shields.
Yeah, pretty much. So yeah, like that's kind of why I thought like preservation is kind of underwhelming. Another thing is the dice. I did use a preservation a couple of times, so I don't remember the dice very well, but let me look at that actually real quick. But I remember the dice also being underwhelming. It's like it's like there's this like the whole spiel about it, how do you say it, like giving you like the whole idea, I think it's like it fixes one of the paths or like one of the slots on the map, and then at the end of it, if you let me hold on. You know the best way to do this? Let's go here. And then what we can do, let's see. Sorry, give me a sec. So if we go to preservation, because I need to read it again. Yeah, so the cornerstone thing, like it locks one of the, or not locks, but like it applies that cornerstone. The whole idea for you at the end is to collect as many cornerstones as possible, and that gives you like extra shields, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
For every domain with cornerstone, increase the amount of shield effect received by all allies. So yeah, it even this is maybe I'm like, I'm not giving it as much credit as it's due, but it looks underwhelming. I'm not gonna lie. It looks very underwhelming.
Even if it was good, okay. I mean, again, it's giving you all these shields, and say you do like get all these shields that you're not dying.
Mm-hmm.
In fun factor as well, compared to some of these other paths,
Right.
it's just like you're just gaining shields. It's not increasing your damage as much as it would with, you say you're in the Nahidri path and you're getting all these dot damages, or you're in the hunt path, you get all this crit rate, your crit damage,
Right.
this critical boost, or propagation. Like from what I've seen, it buffs like your basic attacks and stuff so much.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You're just getting shields.
Yeah, and I understand the whole idea is like, oh, you're getting more shields, but those shields will do damage for you, kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's more volatile. See, it seems to me like that.
You can do more damage without it. You can do more damage.
Exactly. Exactly.
Do a million damage with Sealer on a different path than you'll probably do like 200, 300k damage with your path resonance. Where it's just like not needed.
Yeah. And like looking at the dice effects as well, it's like, of course, I think the whole idea is that you're applying more cornerstone to so that at the end of when you reach the boss, you gain all of those cornerstone buffs. But that's the other thing, if you think about it. You only get it once you reach the boss, if I remember correctly. Or am I wrong? Because it says when entering, continuous effect. When entering a boss or boss swarm domain, obtain rewards based on the number of domains with the corners. So while, let's say you're going through plane number 2.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, I'm only gonna get the benefits until I reach the boss. I mean, yes, it could work out, but like, what if you get a very annoying elite that can whip the floor with your characters?
Yeah, I guess it's more of like, I think on Reddit I've seen some people like just go for a straight path. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I guess you can do that as well.
Right.
You can always do that, but and then gain all the buffs as soon as you reach there. But it's, as I said, fun factor. Do you know what I mean? With destruction, you're battling everyone. You're like, cool. Combat path, no problem. Elite path, no problem. More combat paths, so you have to fight people. That's what I want to play the game for. I want to fight people and destroy people.
Right.
I don't want to skip all these stuff and just get my boss at the end. Okay, that's hacks. That's hacks.
And see, like you can. I think the closest thing we can compare it to is abundance, for example.
Yeah.
So abundance is, and I guess we can move on to abundance after it. I think abundance is insane.
Oh. Okay, you're gonna have to tell me why, because abundance is a path where, again, you have Luocha, you know what I mean? He can just keep you up. For me, for the longest time, you have to remember, I've just had Natasha as my only support. And Natasha, no offense to my Natasha lovers, I love her as well, but she is so trash.
I know.
Trash. I have an E6. I was gassed when I had an E6, but she is trash compared to everything else. You might as well not run a support, honestly.
I mean, you have to remember, people highly think highly of her because she was the only free-to-play healer for the longest time.
Of course.
So I get it.
I was that person until I realized in MOC 10. She ain't keeping me up. She's not keeping me up. I need Prushan.
Right.
Okay. But you tell me, go on. It's
okay,
insane.
maybe insane is a bit like, you kind of convinced me, because now that I think about it, here's why I might drop it here. So I have Blade.
Okay, Blade.
So why is Blade great with abundance? And one of the simplest answers to that is there's one blessing that is a very common blessing, or a common blessing, which is the one that stacks with the more blessings you have, the more benefit you get. Each path has one of those, right?
Yeah.
For the abundance one, it gives you a max HP.
Yeah, I see that. No way.
Yeah.
Okay.
And even when it comes to survivability, so that's the other thing that I mentioned about preservation, that I understand if you're gonna go survivability as your as your thing for this for the path, I think abundance does it better on two accounts. The first account is that, first of all, you're like, the path itself is healing you.
Yeah.
It's healing you. It's removing all of the bullshit, like whatever crowd control you have on you. It's gonna remove all of that. It's gonna heal you like consistently. You're gonna be healed just fine. It's gonna give you more max HP. It's gonna give you all of that. But it's not only that. I think one of the main reasons why abundance is pretty good in Swarm is that how the path works in Swarm. So if you remember how abundance works, is that you get that what is it called? Like when the nodes on the map are green, basically. I forget what the word for it is, but basically instead of angering the swarm more, you get a -1. So most likely you're gonna reach the swarm without any the disarray thing where if you walk
the countdown things.
Exactly. So the countdown is actually increasing with abundance if you get the right stuff. I'll open in the game. So if you go to Simulated Universe and look at what do you call it, abundance. So let's look at the abundance real quick.
Yeah. So
yes, you're losing more points if you don't go to a domain that has mercy. That's the word I was looking for earlier. You spend 3 points basically. The countdown goes down by 3 points. But I've had a lot of runs where that's never an issue. And the more points you have for the countdown, it's the higher it is, the more healing effect you have, which means better survivability. That's the first thing. So even the path itself, or like the audience dice, I guess that's what they call it. Even that is giving you more survivability. I mean, kind of like preservation, because the preservation one is giving you more shield effectiveness. Like when Gepard ults, it's gonna give you even more shields.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. As I said, like in this case, the path resonance in itself is healing you. So even the path resonance is benefiting from that. So if you're gonna go survivability, at least go full on survivability. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I think that's what like abundance does so well. And what you can do pretty much is you go abundance and then pick up like really key, like it doesn't matter which path, which side path you go for. So in my case, like let's say I'm using Blade. Well, first of all, Blade is benefiting from the, like the buff in HP that you're gonna get. That's the first thing. And the dice that you get in abundance are way better. Like it's like you apply mercy easily, like it spreads out more easily. Like overall, it's easier to play compared to, at least from what I've seen, compared to preservation. But I can see your point about, okay, what if I don't have X character? In my case, Blade.
Yeah.
I think I could run it with Mono Quantum, for example, and I can still do very well. What I'm thinking.
I see that. Having Fushuan, like, I assume like with Fushuan's healing as well.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure there'll probably be some buffs or something where it like helps everyone out, as well as giving her more max HP on top of her own healing. So
yeah, and the thing is, and this is again, potentially this is very related to what characters you have. One of the most broken like level 1 blessings in the game for me right now, since I have Luocha, is this one that I have on screen, which is after a character provides healing, there's a 30% fixed chance to recover a skill point. So when you have Luocha, you know what happens when you have Luocha and you have this blessing? You're never gonna run out of skill points. Pretty much.
yes.
Because so he has that field, right? And the way the fields work is that when you do damage, everyone on the team gets healed. Every instance of that has a chance to give you a skill point,
It's like 30%, but basically like
but multiplied by 4.
4, and it's gonna be, unless you're really unlucky.
Yeah,
you
it's
get
it's
skill point.
it's gonna be it's gonna be very very likely that you're gonna get a skill point. I never run out of skill points when I have that. But as I said, like the other thing that is very good about this one is that the max HP one, which works very well with Blade. But then again, that's why I'm like, okay, I can see what Dejan is talking about here is that, yeah, what if you don't have Blade? How are you dealing damage? And that's the other thing. I think even then, it's still better than Preservation. I'll tell you why.
Yeah.
Because, so if you look at the level 3 blessings, so all of them are like, oh, you have the dewdrop thingy, and the dewdrop like charges up, and then when you attack, you do normal attack. Even your Natasha will be doing 100k damage, basically. And the reason why that is because that dewdrop thingy that keeps accumulating like power scales off of the max HP of the like the character. It scales off of the healing that you're gonna do, which you're gonna do with your characters and your path, pretty much.
With Fushuan, that might be actually pretty.
Oh yeah,
pretty good, to be fair.
and that's the third point is that, yeah, like you have way more healers than shielders. So you like even Fushuan is gonna mitigate a lot of damage, of course, but like she gives you more max HP, and even though she's a preservation character, she doesn't give you any shields. Which when you think about abundance, as I said, like the path itself is gonna be healing you consistently, because if you remember the second one, you know, you pick up your main path residence and then you pick up the other 3.
Bypass, yeah.
Yeah, so the third one of them is basically makes the path as if it's a player or like one of your characters, where every turn, I think, or every cycle rather, is gonna automatically trigger.
Okay.
I'm not sure if you
give, like debuffs and stuff. Does it like?
No. So this is the one that I'm talking about. So after path resonance energy is consumed, so let's say you enter the battle and you press the path resonance, it's gonna heal you, and then it's literally kind of like the Jin Yuan. He has the Thunder Lord. He's always there. You know what I'm saying? Like every end of cycle, the Thunder Lord is gonna do his attack. Same thing. It becomes part of the cycle, basically. You just trigger it once and it's always there.
Yeah.
So you're always going to be healed, which means you're always going to get all of those benefits from healing. Whereas if you're running preservation, you know, you might run out of shields and then you literally have no damage. But
okay. Yeah.
All of this to say, I can see your point. That's why I'm kind of rethinking. That's why I put it down from insane to insane with caveats right now.
I can't lie, I would still probably move it down, only because, again, it's more like character dependent on how much you're going to enjoy it. Do you know what I mean? Like,
so where would you put it in your case, for example? Would you put it in good?
I would probably, I could probably put it in good. Like, I understand it does help you so much more than preservation, but again, it's like, not saying that you don't need healing,
right?
But for example, I could probably run Natasha and then run my 2 go nihility buff as well, get all that healing from that nihility, and have a shield as well. So instead of Natasha, like,
right,
there's other ways of sourcing heals, in my opinion. I know it's just not about heals, but
yeah, that's the part that I disagree with you on, is that this is like the reason why I like abundance so much is that, think about it this way: what is the best character that can make preservation work? Because that's why I put the characters with it as well, because I think that's also very important. Japard, exactly. So if you put Japard here, you have Japard and you have a really well built Japard, but still preservation doesn't work very well. True, right?
Yeah.
Whereas,
Yeah.
like, if in my case I have Blade, which is probably the best character that you might have with Abundance,
Yeah.
and it becomes easy mode.
It does, but then again, I just don't like the I just don't have Blade. Or someone's just like, I don't have Blade.
Right, right. But
I
even
know
if you
it's
don't
more.
have Blade, that's my point. Is like, even if you don't have Blade, I think
Yeah.
it's still way more usable than Preservation, because at that point with the like if you're running Preservation, you probably want to run some Destruction with it as well, because it also gives you shields. Whereas with Abundance, it doesn't matter. You can pick up whatever path works for you. If you have Kafka, you can run Nihility with it. If you have Sele or like Monoquantum, you can run a Hunt on the side. You can run Propagation if you have QQ. I think it's more flexible, and it's definitely better survivability is what I'm trying to say. It does what Preservation is trying to do even better.
Okay. But would it still be insane?
Oh yeah,
You know what I mean?
100%.
I would still. I'd like to move it to great. Do you understand what I mean? I don't know if having it with insane with caveats. I feel like the points you made with Elation,
Right.
it's like it's so much more. I'm not see now. I'm just gonna say so much more flexible. I know Abundance is flexible, but I just feel like it gives you a bit more with Elation than Abundance would give you.
So that's why I understand, like, okay, if we put all of those factors in, Elation has the edge over Abundance is what you're trying to say.
Yeah.
And of course, like in my case, Abundance Cleanse is very valuable. That's another thing, exactly. Like the Wind Shear that the bugs do is actually like flies under the radar, because some of those Wind Shears will do 1.5k to your character just like that. And Abundance gets rid of that. I understand you probably didn't have the best runs with Abundance, and that's why I wanted a second opinion, because my first assumption was put Abundance here, to be honest. But then I understand, okay, if I put, like, let's say I remove Blade and Loacha from my account, would I still feel the same? Probably not. Destruction, yes. It doesn't matter if you're running Destruction, it doesn't matter which characters you have. It's still gonna work out. Of course, granted, you have a high enough level to, let's say, clear MOC 3030. Destruction would be fine with whatever character you have, in my opinion. But I can see your point about Abundance. Okay, let's say I didn't have Loacha and Blade. Would I still feel the same about it? Probably not. You're right on that. But I still think it's like, that's why I put Insane with caveat, is like, if you have Blade and or Loacha, it becomes easy mode, which is, what I'm trying to say is like, that's not even the case with the best characters of Preservation. You could put Japard and like whatever else with him. Like, I'll give you all of the characters in the game, and you like, Preservation is still gonna be very underwhelming.
Yeah.
So that's why I'll still put it here. As I said, like, even the dice stuff and like the dice, the whole path, how it works, I think it's still insane in my opinion. I've seen so many runs where Abundance is so good. I've never seen anyone like running Preservation and being very happy with it. To be fair. Let's see. Topaz is about buff the entire Elation path in a couple of weeks. Oh, 100%. I can't wait for that.
She's coming home for sure.
Oh, dude. She's so...
I haven't seen the live stream, but I just know that I'm winning my 50-50. I believe it.
I hope so too, for myself as well.
I'm not losing yet. I've got every character I've wanted so far. I'm not losing yet.
Yeah, let's hope. Are you going for Jingliu, by the way?
I might do a couple pulls for the Tingyun, because I heard Tingyun.
Right. If she comes, she comes then.
Yeah, if she comes, she comes. But I do want Topaz.
Right.
So
yeah.
I'm just a hard believer right now in the RNG. Just, I'm praying every day. I'm grinding every day, getting all the little gems I can get, whether it's 5, 5 or more. Do you know what I mean? I'm getting everything.
Yeah, let's hope we do get her. She seems very like, I think she's gonna be good. We were talking about it in KitKat's stream earlier. It's like,
Yeah.
in my opinion, she's gonna be like I think she's the first DPS that is kind of DPS kind of buffer at the same time. Like the first hunt character that is not full on just DPS, at least from my, assessment of the dreams that I had about it. As
See, I need to watch the. I mean, I need to dream as well.
Yeah, you need to do
I
sub
haven't had any
DPS.
dreams recently.
Right. Yeah,
So,
KitKat is like sub DPS. Yeah, I think sub DPS is a very good what do you call it, like classification for her. The dreams
What?
tell me she can SP negative or positive. Right. Yeah. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
Even like, see if I get a character like Topaz where she is doing follow-up attacks, then I think my thoughts on Elation would change even more. Do you know what I mean? Because now I do have a character that is doing follow-up attacks regardless of having that gold card,
Right.
where I'll be like, oh yeah, this is sick.
And she's gonna be the best Elation character, not on. Because like literally, I was thinking about it earlier. It's like I can run Blade, her, Pella, and like a healer, Fushuan. I think that team would be insane.
That team sounds not. Wait, what? I need
Or
to
like
dream.
Lynx as well. Oh my god, Lynx would work. Yeah, I'll have to think about it. But yeah.
I need to see her dreams. I mean, I need to dream. I just need to close my
Yeah,
eyes
you need
and
to dream. You need to dream.
I'll dream tonight.
Oh man. But yeah, so just to wrap up Abundance, I can compromise bringing it from insane to insane with caveats, but trust me, I've had so many runs so easy with Abundance, I can go lower than insane. Not gonna lie.
I just need it to be relatable. And I think that's the problem with
Okay,
me
how
right
many
now.
times did you try the path?
So maybe 3 times. The first time I did it was for the Kafka thing. That
Mhm.
was easy, do you know what I mean? Because obviously I was stuck on that.
Right.
And then you just keep getting dominated and you lose.
Mhm.
You use the abundance path, you cheese it with the cleanse, it helps you. As you said as well, the
No,
the
in
wind
Swarm,
shear-
I mean. I think you're talking about normal.
Wait. Yeah, but even like in Swarm,
Uh-huh.
yeah, you're getting the wind shear thing, but I also have characters that just dispel everything anyway.
Right.
Such as my Fushuan, who has her
Yeah,
one
the
effect
resistance.
when you use your E, and then I had Lynx. Like when I just used the mono contour team, that thing was literally easy mode. I did that with my eyes closed.
Mm-hmm. Well, speaking of mono quantum, I think this is one of the best paths to run with quantum. So here comes Hunt. So Hunt in normal simulated universe, I think probably the best path to run, just for the simple fact that it clears so fast. That a lot of people just run it. It's so good. Then comes Swarm. And by the way, KitKat linked you something for the dreams later on.
Okay.
But yeah, so Hunt.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, so have you tried Hunt and Swarm?
I tried it obviously with my Sealer team, and I'll be honest, I got rolled. I did get rolled, and I was just like, so this was obviously for Lynx and Vishawan. This was with Japard, Natasha, Sealer, and no, that's wrong. It was Japard, Sealer, Silverwolf, and Tingyan,
Okay.
and I got rolled. So
Yeah, the
I'm
issue.
not a big believer in that path.
Yeah, the issue is like you definitely like, to be fair, in Swarm, what I noticed, especially on higher difficulties, you need a DPS, you need a buffer
Yeah.
or a debuffer, and then to be honest, you need 2 sustain.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie, you need 2 sustain. And I think I found like the best combo is like Luocha and Fushuan because I have them. But like you can run Fushuan Lynx, you can run Japard and Lynx. It's like a shielder and a healer, or like preservation and potentially a healer. You can just run one preservation, in my opinion. For the most part, when you fight the D5 Hunt Distraction Trotter and die to it. Oh my god, yeah. The destruction trotter is
Lethal. Oh
it's
my
so
god.
annoying. But like thankfully I generally run blade, so it actually benefits me in a way.
Sometimes you don't realize you're gonna like die to it, and you look at your HP, you're like, what is happening?
Oh, what the hell?
God, attacking. What's happened to me?
So yeah, the thing with Hunt, and okay, I think it's somewhere between good and great. I'll tell you why.
Okay.
The thing is, like, it's still one of the better, or like maybe the best at dealing damage.
Yeah.
But in Swarm, you need so much sustain, and Hunt doesn't give you any sustain. Like nada, none, zero. Like you can think of other paths; they give you some sustain one way or the other. Like even Elation is like in a lot of cases, some of the blessings will give you defense, will give you. I don't know. Like there are some ways to sustain yourself. Remembrance would freeze the enemies, which means you're not getting hit. Even like the Nihility will heal you, and like there are ways to sustain with other paths. You want sustain? Just kill them faster. Hunt probably. Yeah, it's like it's still very good, but you need to be more strategic. Like it used to be with normal simulated universe. Oh, see path, see hunt, pick hunt. No, you can't do that. It's still tricky, and the whole dice, how the dice work, it's a bit underwhelming. It's like it's a bit confusing, or like it's not very valuable in my opinion. Yes, you gain more damage the more trotters you pick up, but the trotters keep jumping around, which is annoying. You know what I'm talking about, right? Like when you're playing, right? Yeah, it's like they switch places unless you get that one dice that locks it in its place. But yeah,
I think for side cards as well, you know, if you're running Sealer on your team, or again just someone where you just put out a lot of damage, getting the critical boost ones from the gold ones, or the ones that increase your crit rate, crit damage,
right?
Enhancing them, like there's so many opportunities where you can to get those cards,
right?
Which can help your DPS in some aspects, but as you do say as well, it gives you no sustainability.
Yeah, but see, the thing is, like, I guess you can look at it from two angles. I think this list is mostly about which main path you would take. The thing is, I'll give some score to paths for how good they're on the side. I think Hunt is up there when it comes to. I think it's one of the best ones to pick up if you want more damage. So if you're running Abundance, for example, you should pick up a bunch of Hunt stuff. But that's the thing. The path.
If it's just the path, then.
I mean, no, I'm saying like it's both, but I think we put more weight on how good it is as the main path. If you see what I mean.
Yeah.
I think it's. Damn, I'm ping ponging because I had really insane runs with it, but I also had really bad runs with it. But I'm not sure if the great runs that I had with it is because it's the main path, or it's because I picked up some really good stuff on the side. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And the way I think about it, like, or at least try to narrow it down, if it's either or, is thinking about what Hunt as the main path did for me. And when I think about it, so okay, the path resonance does good damage. And if you think about normal simulated universe, the good thing about Hunt is you need to kill stuff for it to be good.
Yeah.
But in Swarm, you're not killing stuff. You see what I'm saying? It's like the whole spiel about Hunt is like, oh, you pick up the one that does crit damage if the enemy is less than 50%, and if you kill, you get recharge to your path, and if you have the 200 one, you'll be spamming the path resonance and killing everyone. But I've never even, like, that rarely happens in Swarm. Just go for what the KitKat is like writing. I think for Hunt you don't vertically invest into going for full resonance. You go for 6 to get Celestial Hunting Arrow to advance forward. You hire attack characters, then focus on other paths. Yeah, and that's the thing. It's like, I guess part of it is thinking about how difficult to run the path. We, like, as I said earlier about destruction is dumb easy. It's like, okay, you see destruction, pick destruction for the most part. Hunt, not so much. And the other thing with destruction is like it gives you both sustain and damage, whereas Hunt not so much sustain nearly at all. It's like full on glass cannon, which doesn't work very well in Swarm. So personally, I would put it in good. I know it sounds controversial, but I think it's just good. Because as I said, like the main, like it's good as a side path. It's really good as a side path. That's why I was like contemplating putting it as great. But as the main path, it's okay.
As you said as well, it's like you had so many like good other side paths to buff that path so much.
Mm-hmm.
It's not really the hunt really doing much for you than all these other paths that you have got.
Yeah, and like the only reason I would potentially put it in great is there's so many good one-off blessings from hunt that you can pick up. You don't even need to focus on hunt that much. It's like one of my favorites is the one that gives you energy when you kill.
Yeah.
That
when
one
you
is
buff it,
so
it goes to
good.
100%, doesn't it?
It's like it gives you 60% if it's not upgraded, but if it's upgraded, it's like 100%. But even at 60%, it's still very good because generally you probably killed the enemy by using an E or something.
Yeah.
So you're already like nearly at the max. So and the 3-star blessings are all of them are good. All of them are good. The one that gives you crit boost is really good. The one that gives you that advances you forward when you break weakness, or was it when you kill? Yeah, like
when you break the weakness,
yeah, like all of them are really good. Like there isn't like a hunt 3-star blessing that is not useful in one way or another.
There's also this healing one that you get for killing stuff, so it also does go really
True.
well with the ultimate one. So again, you just have ultimate and you're getting your health back, ultimate, you're getting your health back, ultimate.
Exactly.
It's just most of those cards are so great. Most of the cards are actually
Where would you put it? Where would you put it personally?
Do you know what? Like speaking about it now, like as you said, there are so many cards that are good, but as a main path, do you know what I mean? Like you could be better off with something else.
Yeah, I think hunt is best to use as a side path, to be honest.
Yeah, I think we can leave it in good. I think you can put it back in good.
Okay. Yeah, let's put it in good. For Swarm, I think it's just good. Just looking at how, like, and as I said, like, we factor in as well the how the dice works and how the mechanic when you're traversing works. The jumping trotters between locations is very annoying because you might go in one direction and then suddenly it switches places and you can't, like, it's too far to pick it up. And unless you get a good dice that allows you to jump to it, you're screwed.
As you said, it can mess you up as well. There's been times where there's been a reward path next to me, it's teleported to the combat path of the reward trotter.
Exactly.
Yeah, fair enough. You might get a good blessing, but a reward thing is most likely going to be way better than that.
Exactly. Wait, so let's see what Mr. Man has said. Hunt was really disappointing. The hunt blessing are good. The actual path stuff, well, maybe he forgot to wrote not so much. But yeah, I think I'm gonna leave it at good. Some people might disagree, and as I said, like, you again, all of these you can still make them work, even preservation. Like, you can always make it work, but we're talking about which ones are kind of easiest / strongest.
Also with the hunt thing, dice, as you were saying, some of them are just also like the one where you can skip 3. Why would you want to skip 3? Kind of, you know what I mean? Like,
well, it can work in the sense of, let's say you don't want to pick up the countdown is like at 1 or something, and you just want to skip to you just want to skip to basically not get the enemy boosted basically when you fight them. That's the only thing I can see it being helpful. And that actually brings me back to another point why abundance is really good. I forgot to mention is, since you're doing the mercy thing, you can pick up so many blessings because you can literally, because you're the goal of abundance is to pick up as much mercy as possible. And if the map is filled up with mercy, you can literally go diagonally. It makes the run longer, but also that means you're picking up more blessings, you're picking up more curios, you're picking up more fragments, which makes it even better. because you're gonna be picking up so many blessings if you get Mercy spread out across the map.
Okay.
So yeah. Oh
Well,
yeah.
again, now that I do have like better healing characters, it'll be something where I'll have a run on, and then have a better decision at some point.
Yeah, definitely try it out. But the other thing, just to wrap up Hunt, to give it credit, that's why another thing that might bump it up to great is that
Yeah.
you can use any character
Yeah.
with Hunt, meaning
Yeah.
like whatever the team you have, it should like I guess I'm talking mostly about the main DPS here.
Yeah.
If you want to run Blade, you can run Blade. Whatever DPS you have in mind, QQ, Sele, of course, is amazing. What else? Welt could work. It doesn't matter what DPS you're running. Kafka could work. Well, Kafka, if you're running crit Kafka, I guess.
If it's you.
Yeah, but
You can run
that's
it.
another thing for Hunt is you can run any main DPS or any team you want with it. But that's why also we said earlier it's such a great side path. It doesn't matter what team you're running. You can always benefit from crit unless you're running 100% dot. But yeah.
Agreed.
But yeah, let's keep it at good for now, and let's move on to propagation. What do you think of propagation? Have you tried it?
I haven't.
Okay.
Again, most times when the cards do come up, I think let's go to the card page.
Mm-hmm.
I think most of them are just like basic attack damage, and
Uh-huh.
what characters use basic attack damage?
Yeah, so I can give my opinion on it because I did try it a couple of times.
We used
Um,
to-
What I think is it's great as a side path. It's
Yeah.
busted if you have the right characters for it as a main path. So
See, I've seen runs with Dan Hung,
Mhm.
Daniel, and yeah, it's freaking broken.
yeah, so the thing with propagation is that it's really like I'm saying it's busted. It's the best path if you have the characters for it. And it's not just Dan Hung. The other character that is busted with it, which kind of like the character works kind of like Dan Hung, is QQ.
Yeah.
QQ
forgot about
is
her.
insane. Like I'm talking millions, like million damage per hit. Sometimes millions.
Okay, talk to me. Have you tried your QQ out? 'Cause I
No,
remember
that's the
one
thing.
time-
I don't have her built, unfortunately.
I remember you saying you did want to try it, but
I really want to try her out, but
slap Sealer's artifacts on her. It'll be good.
I mean, no, but I need to build her up as well and traces and all of that stuff. I think that's the issue. It's not the artifacts. I can switch the artifacts. That's what I do when I'm playing Welt or Pella, is like literally interchange their artifacts for the most part. But yeah, it's like I wish I did, and I really want, because I can run her in Mono Quantum and then go propagation, to be honest.
Yeah.
And I did win with propagation in difficulty 5, and the way I did it basically is I went Mono Quantum with Sele, but then at the final boss I switched to Blade.
Oh, okay.
You
Oh,
know?
yes, Blade. Okay.
Yeah. So the thing is, like, yes, so the best characters with this wait, I don't see Dan Hong here. What? Oh, well, Imbibiru Lune at least. Wait, where's Fush 1 as well? Oh my god, this one doesn't have those. No. Wait, I thought I had them. What? Am I blind? Just put regular Dan Hong. Yeah, I can put regular Dan Hong, I guess, but yeah. This is Imbibiru Lune. Imagine he has horns here, okay? He has horns.
Yeah.
The other characters, of course, as I said, QQ. These are the busted ones. Other characters that can work with it is Blade, and to a certain extent Sele. Not really, but kind of. This is stretching it with Zele, to be honest.
Yeah.
But these two again, Imbibiru Lune and QQ. Oh my god, dude! I'm talking like, yeah, you're demolishing the whole you're demolishing everything.
The whole field, as you said, like it's millions and millions of damage.
Imagine Marcia's push one. Sorry, I was reading the chat. Yeah. It's like, go ahead. Sorry, I kind of cut you off there.
Yeah, no, as you were saying, it's millions of damage with both of them because basic attacks, you're enhancing them. Even with the Gamba, with QQ, you get.
Oh, you don't even worry about that. That's the thing.
I think there's a like couple blessings where you get skill points.
Exactly. Like the Path Resonance also give you skill points when you use it. And you get 2 charges if you like fill up the whole thing. Because this one, where is it? So this, I think one of them, like the main one, gives you 2 skill points already. Like you recover 2 skill points immediately. Yeah. And the way it works, by the way, if you haven't seen it, is that kind of like, you know how Bronya, when she uses her skill, she moves forward the character to do, like to be the next person to, or like the next character to play. That's how this Path Resonance works. Is like, okay, you go next. And it's insane if you have, as I said, QQ, if you have Dunhong. It's like, we're talking 1.5 million per like basic attack, for especially in the last part where all of the enemies are weak to quantum. Same with Dunhong, they're all weak to imaginary, so it goes very brazy. Like, it's so good. However, if you don't have those 2, even I tried it even with Blade, it's a bit underwhelming as the main path. It's great as the secondary path. If you have like a character like Blade, if you have QQ, if you have Dunhong, of course if you have QQ or Dunhong you want to run it as the main path, but if you have Blade, you can pick up Propagation as a side.
Which ones would you pick up?
There are a bunch that would help you with basic attack, but not the ones that give you skill points. So that's why Blade is a bit mixed bag with this, is that you're benefiting from part of the path, but not the other. You're benefiting from the part that boosts your basic attacks. So like, for example, you have the one, so like see these, for example. There's one basic attack crit rate increased by 24%. Basic attack crit damage increased by 40%. And there are other ones that are skill points related, which is like for each skill point a character consumes, the character restores HP equal to 10%. So imagine you're using QQ and you use 3 skill points. You're healing like crazy. Same, it gives you energy when you use skill points. So that's why it's so like tailor-made for Dunhong and QQ. But for Blade is like half of the kit he uses, but the other half doesn't use. So that's why it's great as a side path, because you can just pick up the ones that boost your basic attack, but don't pick up the ones that, you know, rely on the skill points. The only one that I can pick up where it's related to skill points, there's this one, which is after a character uses their skill, and if the skill did not unleash an attack, all allies damage dealt increases by 20% for 1 turn. And this can stack up to 3 times. What this means is, let's say you're running, like in my team, running Bronya and Fushuan and Luocha. If all of them use E, you have 60% more damage for your blade.
Holy shit.
Yeah. It's insane. So yeah, like it's good as a side path in certain cases. Unless you have QQ, then it's the best path in the game. Or like you have Dunhong. So yeah, like so here in all of this, like where do you think it would land? I think in my case I would put it insane, but with caveats, and it's the best one in that category.
Yeah, as you said, like if I had the characters, it would be like, holy shit. As you said, even with QQ, I mean, not many people would have used, maybe not many people would have used QQ up until that propagation path thing.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I mean, as like I hear E6 QQ is busted.
I have E6. I need to build her, but yeah.
What are you waiting for? This army. I gave you 10 free fuel today. Okay, you build her after this.
I need to.
See this run. But yeah, as you were saying, like E6 QQ having all these chances to like do millions of damages, and QQ seems like a fun character as well.
She is.
Mono Quantum.
I low key, I love her design. Even from the very beginning, I said I love her design. She looks so cute. But yeah, that's another topic.
But again, yeah, insane with caveats.
Yeah, same. I 100% agree.
Even like when I first saw the basic attack one, the first one that I ever saw was basic attack by 40% damage.
Yeah,
like,
the buffs are huge.
I was like, this is made for Dan Heng, bro. Like, what do you mean 40% damage and then 24% crit? Come on, man. Did they want you to summon him for that part?
Yeah. I mean, it's definitely on purpose. If you think about it, like the both. So, which character did we get in this? What do you call it? In this patch, we got Fu Xuan and Imbibitor Lune, right?
Yeah.
Both Swarm is made for both in a way. Of course, for Dan Heng more than Fu Xuan, and the reason why, first of all, the enemies are weak to Quantum and Imaginary. That's the first point. And the second point, and Lynx as well. That is true. But like we're talking like the featured character, like the featured 5 stars. And the other thing is Fu Xuan makes Swarm so easy. It's like it's not even funny. It's
I'll be real as well. Sorry to cut you off.
No,
like,
please.
Her ultimate. Okay, like I've done 200, 300k with her ultimate. It takes off everyone's shield. Fu Xuan again, and IL was made for this patch, literally, for you to just try out and have so much fun.
100%. But I'm happy that the byproduct of that is QQ kind of becoming OP somehow.
It makes kind of everyone as viable as they can be. Like you can use everyone, have so much more fun with all these characters as well.
Yeah, and that's why I've been having a lot of fun with Swarm. I know it's a small tangent, but I've been having a blast with Swarm, and I hope they do this more often, where they release modes like this. So I'm really stoked about it. Imagine Genshin had modes like this. Oh, dude.
You know what I mean? I swear they did that one event. I didn't do the event, because I just wasn't in the mood for Genshin at the time. But I remember. I think it was in Inazuma, and you had to go through different rooms and it would give you different buffs as well.
Yeah, I remember that.
That event was good.
Yeah.
I would love that even for a side event. Look, they give so many gems. Give me so many gems in Genshin. Why are you giving gems?
Dude, I know of course the gems are always welcome, but like give me it, like don't give me rewards.
I know what you mean though. Like again, I would just love to go into someone and then get like a free constellation, like for example, one of the Curios get a free constellation on a character.
That would be great.
5-star character. Now you get to use a C1 5-star character.
And it's the same company. I don't get it.
I know. Just mesh your ideas together. Just like make both of your games great. I know like they're different things, but Genshin could take so many things from Honkai and just make the game so wicked and good. I would love to play it so much more. Like I want to be able to use my Eula more. I know, guys, this isn't our Genshin stream, but I would love to use my Eula more. I can't because everything is a robot in Spiral Abyss. Okay,
dude. Oh my god, don't get me started on the Eula. But yeah, we can talk about it some other time. But yeah, oh my goodness, yes, we struck a nerve there. But yeah, so anyway, we still have two more paths to talk about. And to be honest, like I need to preface, Remembrance, I literally played it once, literally today before this this tier list, just to get a sense of what it does. So if I'm gonna score something not very accurately, it's probably gonna be this one. But have you tried Remembrance? Let's go with that one, actually.
I've done a couple runs on it.
Okay.
Again, I know this is for Swarm, but when I did it for
normal,
for the Deer Boss, I literally ran level 40 March and Japard, and just when you're freezing everything, and obviously when you do accumulate all the cards, and then you get you're getting all the dissociation stacks and everything, you are actually doing so much damage. You're freezing them for so long as well. You're not getting hit as much. So when you are running someone, I think I was running Asta as well as Sealer. You're just doing so much. Sealer might not like be smashing through everything because of the mass HP, but the dissociation buffs, you're doing like 300k damage per dissociation turn or however it goes.
Right.
So it is really good, but again, I haven't used it enough for me to be like, oh yeah, this is insane with caveats, but
Right.
even like some of the, sorry to keep talking,
No,
even
no,
with some of
please.
the cards, like every 6 times you attack, they have a
Mm,
chance of getting frozen, and then
mm-hmm,
you do get another card with the dissociation. When you have those two cards together, you're doing really good damage.
mm-hmm.
I like it. I do like it.
I think so. I played Remembrance today, um,
Yeah,
and I have a bit of a bias to Remembrance in general, especially as a side path.
yeah,
When I'm running Elation, it was insane as a side path. It's incredible how good it is. Um, all of the three, I think it's very similar to how Hunt is, where as a side path, it's such a pickable path. Maybe a little bit less than Hunt, but it's such a. I think no, actually, you know what? I think it's on the level of Hunt because Remembrance you can even run it with Dot, really.
yeah,
Because you're accumulating a bunch of hit rate, like hit rate and stuff like that, which helps Nihility as well, and vice versa. So, you know what? I think it's great.
there is.
The only issue that I had with it in the run that I did, I lost the run. I wasn't able to finish
Yeah,
difficulty 5, but I think part of it is like that's why I think it's very it's not fair to the path because I think I didn't get a lot of good side stuff, if you will. I wasn't
yeah.
doing enough damage, but literally it was so comfy until I hit the boss because I wasn't doing enough damage. Um, I
I
think it's
think
great. I think it's like you're literally freezing everything. It makes the run so comfy. You don't even need ice characters. But I think that's where the weakness for this path is right now, is that
yeah.
unless you have Yang Xing, you can potentially run Marsh if you have her built, and kind of pretty much it. I know Japard is ice, but
Yeah, I know
it.
I said Japard, but it's only like when you do break the shields with them. So it's not like, yeah, it wasn't like guaranteed frozen all the time, but it's when you break the shields or if you do get lucky with his E and freeze them.
I mean, I do have. That's the other thing that I need to, because I have E1 Japard, which means his E would freeze more often. But to be honest, when I was using him, it's especially in Swarm, and this is like 100% about Swarm, is that you're not freezing as much with his E. But
Yeah,
I switched to a non-ice, like a team with literally no ice characters, and I was still freezing like crazy, which is very, very good. And you get buffs from freezing and all of that stuff. I think it's great. And I think it's even better as a side path than a main path. That's why I kind of put it in great. Because if you pick it up with Elation, if you pick it up with, it doesn't matter which path you're on. If you pick up some of the like level 3 like blessings, like as you said earlier, the one that freezes every 6 hits, or the one that if you break it they become dissociated or whatever, all of
yeah,
those are good. All of those are good.
yeah.
KitKat says Marsh actually carries this path. I can definitely see that. I can
I
definitely see
see
that.
that as well. Like, so I've seen YouTube videos where again March is just always getting the frozen.
Mm-hmm.
She's freezing enemies, dissociation, destroying everything.
Yeah.
But as you were saying, obviously I know you put in great, but I not saying you need an ice character for it, but I think having an ice character for it, and say when you do get Jingliu, March 7th, Japard and Silverwolf, I guess.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You can, that path would be so amazing.
Oh yeah, 100%. And the reason why I didn't talk much about Marsh, because I don't have her 100% built. I think I have her at
Yeah.
level 60, 70 right now. Like as in I think she's 65 actually. Which I could like, as again, like this is gonna be the most inaccurate scoring because I only tried it once, and I should try it with Marsh and see how it goes. It's just like, it felt like if I'm running Marsh just to freeze, I was already freezing enough with the path resonance, if that makes any sense.
Do you feel though, like, I noticed you can get these effect resistance buffs, but even when I do pick some remembrance for side paths,
Mm-hmm.
the bosses seem to have like a lot of effect resistance.
Yeah, yeah, that is true.
So sometimes they aren't freezing.
Well,
at
that's the thing,
perfection.
right? Like if there's a common remembrance, that's why like when you're building your quote unquote deck, if you want, of blessings,
But yeah, I'm
um,
going to pick them there.
there's two blessings that can really help with the remembrance. They're very easy to pick up, which remembrance itself has a level 1 that increases your hit rate by 16%, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
And
See that?
there is one on Hility that decreases the effect resistance on enemies by 12%, I want to say.
Yeah.
So
I
those
think
are
I know
easy
it's fine.
wins in my opinion, just to make the freeze more consistent. But I think, as I said, like I had an elation run where I had a couple of like I think all the level 3 remembrance blessings, and I was freezing like crazy with the path resonance of elation because it deals ice damage. It was insane, dude. It was so insane. And that's why, as I said, like that's why I have like I'm a bit more biased to remembrance, because it's such a good side path. It's so comfy. It makes the run so easy. Yeah, I think it's
Okay.
great. I can lower it to good just because there aren't many characters that leverage this path right now.
Yeah.
But I think with Jingli Yu, but again, of course, we're talking about how it is right now.
Yeah, of course.
So looking at the roster of characters that are ice, and that's like the knock on it. It's like literally just it's an element. It's bound to an element. But I guess elation in a way it kind of works that way.
I still feel like it's yeah. Actually, yeah, that is a good point. Because I was gonna say it's a bit different because elation does, as you said, with the elation ults. But even when you do pick your remembrance paths, not paths, you can still freeze characters without having any ice characters. So
Right.
yeah, I can still see where you're coming from. But again, elation, I think as you said, all the buffs that follow up with that gold card,
Yeah.
yes, it would
It builds on
give
that.
them
Yeah.
good leverage. Whereas remembrance is still a bit of an iffy one. Whereas you do need to get like a bunch of other cards to make it where it's at.
Yeah, and the thing is, like, I always try to consider as well, even though it's characters that I don't have, I try to consider the characters that can work very well with that path. And I think Elation has more, how do you say it? More valid or more like characters that work better with that path compared to Remembrance, because just for the fact that, for example, Clara is way better than Yang in my opinion.
Yeah, no, of course.
You see what I'm saying? So it's like the characters that we have for these paths that work with it are better. So taking that into consideration, I think the Elation has a slight edge over Remembrance when it comes to that. But I think it's more pickable as a side path though than Elation. Because Elation will only work as a side path as long as you pick unless you have one of these characters or you pick that blessing level 3 that I was talking about earlier. So yeah, but also looking at these characters, as I said, like except for Marsh and Yang, yes, these are ice characters. Okay, maybe Herda, but Herda, who's using Herda to be?
Yeah. No, see, that's what I was going to say. With these ice characters as well, Japad and Yangcheng is a limited 5-star.
It's a banner, so yeah, it's a standard.
Who is using Herta? Pela, a lot of people probably use Pela, but is she breaking shields?
Not really.
Enough for it to be freezing.
And she doesn't have anything in her kit that freezes as well. Marsh, you can argue, yeah, her ult freezes, for example, or like, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah. So, yeah, as you said, elation is more valid than a remembrance thing. So,
yeah. So yeah, I think. Do you think it goes lower though?
I think until more characters, where it's more like more valid. To be fair, actually, even with the remembrance path, okay. Again, using characters like Sampo or Asta or Kafka, like they have multiple hits on their attack.
Right.
Sometimes I do find enemies being frozen on like most of the turns.
Yeah.
That's what I would also like to say. So some of the cards are really good. So like
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind it in great. I don't know if I don't know if it's better than the Hunt. Like some of the cards in Hunt, again,
That's
they
why
just
I'm like, yeah, that's why I'm like, is it actually better than Hunt though? I'm not sure.
uh I don't think it is better. I think like in the long run, Hunt is better. Like again, you're getting so
True.
much energy, you're getting HP, you're getting damage. If you're using like certain characters, crit rate, crit damage as well. You have that card if you attack more consecutive times. I think you get like a 40% damage.
Yeah.
I mean,
Attack.
40% only attack.
Yeah.
So it's either we would put Hunt in great, or you either put Hunt higher than Remembrance. I think Hunt has to be higher than Remembrance, personally. For now, until characters are coming out where it's like, yeah, Remembrance
But
is sick.
I understand where you're coming from, but the reason
Yeah.
why I disagree, and you'll probably
Okay.
understand where I'm coming from here. The what do you call it? The dice or the traversal for Remembrance is better.
Yes.
Because what the way Remembrance works for that is they have this thing called Recollection, and
Yeah.
basically it's kind of like Mercy. Think about it that way. For
Yeah.
abundance, it spreads out, and the more you walk in it, the better. And it gives you more effect hit rate, which means it would work very well if you're running a dot team, because
Yeah.
then like you can make it work in multiple ways, basically. I think yes, Hunt gives you more damage. I mean, the only way I might compromise is do this, basically, or do this. Like it's still in my assessment, it's slightly better, but I could be wrong, of course. This is like us trying to figure out the formula, if you will.
See, okay, also, as KitKat did mention,
Mm-hmm.
March 7th carries Remembrance Path. So I think it good. I think good for both of them.
Yeah, I think good is fine. I think good is fine. We could potentially at the end just do some like remove okay, or like make this like good or like okay, or make this good and then put this okay and kind of have it this way. But for now, I have to agree. And then again, with the caveat that I haven't tried Remembrance enough, so maybe I'm not, doing it justice or giving it the correct score. I mean, I might be wrong on all of them, to be honest, but this is like our best effort to.
To be fair, as again with the right buffs as well, any of these paths can be.
Oh yeah,
just as
you
insane
can
as
literally
that.
clear difficulty 5 with any of these paths. Like that's literally why you get rewards when you do it, because it's doable. So yeah. Okay, the last one we have, I know it's like a Nihility is it's interesting in my opinion, because I think
Tell
I've
me.
seen I'm a bit biased here because I've seen some runs where you can literally solo with Nihility with Fushuan, which is insane.
Yeah.
So okay, I would like to hear from you first on this one.
Okay.
Where do you put Nihility?
As a professional Nihility player, okay, as a Kafka main, since the day I was born and I saw her, I was like, Kafka is going to come home, okay. I was waiting to play this path, okay. I was waiting, and then do you know what?
Mhm.
This is a bias. This is biased, okay,
Uh-huh.
because I have E6 Sampo as well.
Oh
Do you know
yeah.
what I mean?
Oh, you have E6, really?
So you go into Nihility, okay. Listen, my team Kafka, Sampo, Silver Wolf to implement one of them. Listen, you are breaking shields, you are getting HP. Listen, the weakness break efficiency, guys.
Oh
I
yeah,
have
that's
much
so
to
good. I
say.
pick it up even when I'm not running. Like I pick it up just randomly because it's great.
Exactly, like, oh, guys, I'm just gonna have to talk about everything. Okay, what I like to
Go in,
think,
go in.
okay, every time an enemy receives dot, 2.0 energy is regenerated for random ally. Getting ults back quickly. Stack that with other ult gaining things. You're having your ult every time. HP. Oh no, I'm dying. Psych. Dot damage gives you HP. What? That's so crazy. And then a bunch of other stuff as well. Effect resistance. The break effect damage. You get doing more dot. like even the common ones are so good. As I said, the weakness break efficiency, like you're destroying bars so quickly they don't have time to attack you. They don't. The suspicion stacks as well. You're just so everything here you just do so much damage. Nothing can kill you. Nothing can kill you.
Do you
'cause
think it
get
has
HP back
enough
as well.
sustainability, basically?
I do.
Okay.
There's been times where I can just. You could probably go auto with Fushan. You have your Kafka, Sampo, and then if you want, you can bring your healer. I'm getting my HP back. I'm getting my HP back because you're just always doing dot damage. As I said, when you have your ultimate with Kafka as well, you're getting when you have all those other songs to get your ultimate back, you're getting more HP, more HP, more HP, more HP. You're doing so much damage, guys. The bugs don't have time to kill you because you're killing them. Everything is exploding around you as well. Like,
Just kill them first.
What isn't exploding? That's all I'm saying. What is not exploding in that path? It's a wonderful path. I love it. As a Kafka main, I love it. As a Sampo E6 enjoyer, I love it. You can probably use a bunch of different as KitKat said, no, Mr. Man said, most characters can solo with it. You sort of Fushan solo with it. If that does not go in insane, then I don't know. Like,
because the path itself is the one that's like, that's what I was gonna like interject with, is like, even without Kafka, you can definitely make it work. Kafka makes it even better, of course. It makes it even like more insane. And it's like, it gives you sustainability as well, and you're not going to be picking up only Nihility. Of course, you can pick up some abundance with it to just stay alive. You can pick up if you're running like some shields, you can run preservation. I wouldn't recommend it, but
no, it's as you're saying as well.
You can run destruction, like just
destruction. When you put me on, I mean, I did destruction. I did Nihility, got some destruction buffs as well. You're getting so much attack. No,
I think your run was destruction with Nihility on the side.
Sorry.
But it's still, like the synergy is definitely there. Synergy is definitely still there.
Side cards as well. Like, do you know what I mean? If you need some healing, but you don't have it, you don't have a healer. Just get these two. Just get the one where it heals you. No problem.
Yeah, and it's a common as well, which is like makes it even better.
So many. 1 second. What does the suspicion stacks do again? Let me check.
They take more dot damage from. Basically. I have to like what just to kind of another follow-up question on that. What do you think about the kind of the traversal of the path, like the traversal mechanics? What I mean is like the dice and all of that stuff.
To be fair, the dice thing where okay, so it goes blank, doesn't it? But blank gives you just random domains. So I don't really, again, as long as I'm getting like buffs, like sometimes you'll go into it, most times it's either going to be a combat, elite, reward, occurrence, If it gives me like buffs, I don't really mind. I personally don't mind occurrence either. I do like a bit of RNG to my runs. It's only when they give me the swarm ones where I don't like, because
you don't benefit from those blessings with the characters that you have.
Exactly. There's one, I think you can, propagation and nihility has a mixed buff, but again, I don't see myself picking up many propagations just because for my team.
I think to be honest, like you can still pick up the skill points ones for propagation. Like let's say you're using Kafka, right? You're still going to be using E for the most part. You can still pick up some propagation ones that benefit you, from you using your skill points.
Of course, but as I said, like just personally, I just don't go into, like with me when I do my runs, I do avoid swarms as much as I can, just because. Definitely
give it a try with the skill point. If you're using Kafka, as I said, like you can definitely benefit from that. I'm not like the best. I'm not. How do you say it? So I'll jump in with my points on this.
Yeah, go on, because you use Kritka, however you say it.
Kritka. I mean, like I think it doesn't matter, to be honest. I'll tell you why. Because the point that I was like you kind of illustrated it a little bit, which is you're doing the most of the damage with your path. Also, welcome, Aaron. How's it going, man? Why is this an interview? It's not an interview. We're just discussing.
That sounds too formal or something.
But yeah, the idea for me with Nihility is that the path is the one that is doing the most damage, and at the same time it's giving you sustain, it's enabling your characters to do more damage, it's causing more breaks. It's really good. It's really, really good in my opinion. The only issue with it is it's not a great side path unless for some blessings, like the one that gives you more break efficiency, or the ones that reduces the effect resistance on the characters. I literally came to a job interview last stream. I fell asleep. Oh no. Welcome in, my dude. Welcome in.
Wake up. But nah, carry on what you're saying.
Yeah, so like the idea for me is, it's definitely, I think for me it's either insane or kind of just a little bit lower than insane. I think it still lands in insane, to be honest.
Yeah.
But I think it's a bit worse than destruction. I'll tell you why. Maybe not, actually. Maybe not. I will have to think about which one is better. But it's definitely, like, this one is definitely up there. The only reason why I might put it lower is I think destruction is better at sustain, and it's a bit more flexible versus this. And it's easier to play in the sense of you just go combat in destruction path, versus this one, okay, you have to get a little bit lucky with the blanks. So it has more variation. It can get more crazy or it can get worse depending.
It's a bit annoying as well, the blanks. I'm not gonna lie, when I first did the Nihility run and I didn't understand what's going on, I remember my reward domain in front of me just turned blank. I was like,
what the hell's going on?
Why would I want this to go blank?
Yeah, and it's like, yeah, I mean, once you figure out, of course, like, you just want to go as many blanks as you can. And I like this one. I think there's one dice that gives you the reward of an elite or something like that without you fighting it, and it turns it into blank. Or was that a destruction one? I can't remember. Let me check that, actually. Hold on, give me a sec. But yeah, so just to kind of elaborate more while I look at this, is I think it's still not a great side path, but I think that also applies to destructions, so I think that's fine.
Oh, actually, do you know what? That is a good point. As good as Nihility is for a side path sometimes, I mean, if you aren't using dot characters...
Oh yeah, you don't benefit whatsoever.
Yeah, sorry, do you know what? Again, I was just thinking as a Kafka main how good it is. But
whereas, like, in destruction, there are some, like... like, let's say you're the 3-star blessings, the one that distributes damage, for example. That one can be very, very beneficial if you're running Blade. That's one of the best ones you can have with Blade. Even the ones that gives you fighting spirit when you get hit, that gives you more sustainability and damage at the same time. Whereas if you get like a random 3-star blessing for Nihility and you're running, like, I don't know, like maybe Abundance, it would work. But like, let's say you're running a Blade team running elation, for example, you're not gonna benefit much from it, to be honest. So that's like the only knock that I would have on Nihility, is that it's not a great side path, but other than that, I think it's a great main path. I think it's insane.
I think with caveats,
yeah,
because again, I remember my destruction path, I did that with Nihility and I was still doing like 300k damage. I was doing big damage with Kafka even on the destruction buff, because it just gives you so much attack, especially with the fighting spirit stacks.
Right. I was trying to remember what the dice effect for Nihility is, the gold one. It's when you go into a blank, it gives you a reward, which I think is also pretty good. The rewards is some of the best nodes you can go into.
Yeah,
because it gives you trotters that give you level 3 blessings.
One time I got scammed on it though. It gave me the same reward domain twice, so when I went to it the second time, it gave me nothing. So reward domains are scams, guys. Don't think it's so amazing you can get scammed from it. I think it was the painting with red and the white background.
Okay, so, Let's see what Iron is saying. Hold on. Me who is far from complete the shit. Oh, dude, we've been playing this so much. That's why we wanted to talk about it. I literally spent 5 hours licking your screen because it has Kafka feet on it. Oh no.
You're exposing me, so we're reading that out.
Yeah, okay. Like we need to hide the chat.
I'm a Kafka enjoyer, as I said. Okay.
Okay, I think it's still insane, but I think Destruction is still better just for the fact it's more flexible, it's more sustained. I think the 3-star blessings are pickable in other. Oh, let me put back. Sorry, give me a sec. Yeah, I think it's definitely here in my opinion. Not Kafka only. Clara's cold ones too. Wait, what? But yeah, I think Nihility is definitely insane. I've had runs where it didn't go very well, but I think that applies to any path, to be honest. You can get unlucky and not get the good stuff. But the likelihood of you finishing a Nihility run, even without having the characters, that's not the other thing. Is like, you would think, oh, a Nihility, oh, I need to have Sampo, I need to have Kafka, I need to have, I don't know, like Silverwolf, whatever characters, Luca, whatever, dot appliers and characters that work with Kafka. But to be honest, you can run normal teams that don't have any dot, and it should work fine. To be honest,
you get to debuff them for just breaking their weakness as well. So getting like the weakness break efficiency, and then I think there's a card that applies everything.
Yeah.
When you break their weakness,
and
then that's eventually, if you do keep collecting their cards, you know what I mean, you're still doing a bunch of dot damage altogether.
Yeah, the path resonance in itself is so much damage. Like, you can just you need to survive and let the path do its thing.
Yeah.
Very much. And the funny thing is, it's not like Hunt where it's giving you damage but it's not sustaining you. It is sustaining you as well. The only difference between, I guess, Destruction and Nihility is that Destruction, you still need characters to do the damage. That's for Destruction. Nihility, you can just rely on the path to do the damage, to be honest.
Yeah.
Iron is saying, why is Hunt down there? Oh, dude, we had a whole discussion about Hunt, why Hunt is there.
Hunt is pretty much down there because as a main path, it's not smashing through everything.
Yeah.
There is a lot of good cards that it can give you, but realistically, when are you running main path on a Hunt in Swarm universe?
Yeah, you can do it, but yeah, we had a whole argument about why. We were debating if it's great or good, but as a main path, I think it's a bit lacking. But yeah, I think that wraps it up. Do you think we need to make adjustments? I guess the only adjustment that I would do is we can technically do this and just remove the OK.
Yeah.
And I think that will be still fine, to be honest. So something like this. I think that's.
Is it good? Because again, you can run preservation. Yeah,
you can still run all of them.
Cards,
yeah.
And then still get smashed. I'm not gonna lie to you, because I think, again, it does depend on what cards you do get at the start sometimes, because you can get horrible cards at the start.
Yeah, but I think that's the thing. It's I think Destruction generally is the Destruction, Nihility,
yeah.
The higher it is, that's why I like Destruction. It's so easy to play. It's very straightforward. It's very hard for the run to go wrong, basically.
I think how this list is how efficient it is regardless what character you use. I think, again, with Nihility, Destruction, you can use anything. Propagation, Elation, Abundance.
Yeah, that's why it's with caveats.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I think
it's if you have the stuff for it, this is more universal paths. This is paths that are insane, maybe even more insane than these if you have the correct characters for them. And these are great, especially as a side path. There's a pattern here. These two are insane as a side path, but as a main path they're lacking because of the whole traversal mechanics that they have and the dice. And then there's preservation.
And again, it only relies on characters with shield or if they scale off defense.
And we talked about it as you have Japard and Marsh. That's pretty much it. Yes, the blessings will give you shields and all of that stuff, but you rely a lot on what your characters, why your character, like, you rely a lot on your characters providing the shields, and you need the shields to do the damage. It's a bit of a catch-22 where you want shields to survive and you want shield to do damage, but if they remove the shields from you, you have neither. So so yeah, it's I don't know, it's a bit wonky if I say so myself. But yeah, I think we went through all of them. I hope I'm not forgetting any paths here, by the way.
No, I think we went through most of them in nice detail, understanding everything. Especially like you've explained a couple of these paths to make
Right.
to make me actually like want to change my mind and try them more.
Yeah, especially Elation. I have a special place in my heart for Elation.
Yeah, I need to try the elation thing. I think Kafka as well, do you know what I mean? Still boost her follow-up attacks. I know they're not strong, but I'll see how much.
Yeah,
much
yeah,
damage
it can still work out.
Yeah, and then
Yeah, awesome. Yeah, this was great. Thank you so much, man. Like, I appreciate the how do you say it, jumping in and helping me out with this.
Thank you for bringing me in. Like, this was fun.
Yeah, appreciate it, man. Appreciate it.